First, I'd like to start about what is public-private dialogue, what it is, what does it look like. Well, I'll start with a definition. And I'm not sure I like this definition, but it's the best we could come up with over years. And it's not a definition that means to say that's what it is. It's more a set of parameters. I'll read it for you, and I'll describe it as well. Public-private dialogues are structured mechanisms. What do we mean by structured mechanism? We mean that there is some kind of order, and we make a difference between public-private dialogue, which is somewhat structured in the way the public sector addresses the private sector and the way the businesses are organized to speak to the government, as opposed to ad hoc lobbying, for instance, or ad hoc advocacy, where some business groups sometimes going to come and meet with some politicians that they know to try to push for an agenda. We're talking here about a structured mechanism, which is a little bit more sustainable in time, a little bit more fair. So PPDs are structured mechanisms anchored at the highest practical level. What do we mean by that? Anchor at the highest practical level. Because it depends on the jurisdiction public-private dialogue takes in. Public-private dialogue can take place at the level of a city. And who is the highest practical level in that jurisdiction? Most likely the mayor. And so often there is, you're going to try, if you have a dialogue between the public and the private sector in a city, to have the office of the mayor involved. You want to anchor that dialogue at the highest practical level in the government side, but also on the private sector side. If there is a chamber of commerce, if there is a representative body already, you want these things to be anchored in there. If you're talking of a national level, you're looking about national institution. If you're talking of a sector, if you're talking of a particular cluster of industry in a particular region, what's the highest practical level in that jurisdiction at which it can be anchored? That's the question you have to ask when you're trying to do it. So PPDs are structured mechanisms anchored at the highest practical level, and they're coordinated by a light secretariat, or light unit, or light number of people that get together to do this coordination, because things don't happen, they don't just grow on trees everywhere. Some people need to be there to say, okay, we do an action plan, we bring people in, we're going to have meetings, these are the agendas, and so you need to have a coordination, you need to push things up a little bit. And that doesn't mean that those people are working there all the time. That means that there are some people who are designated at some points to coordinate the rest of the stakeholders. Now, what are they all doing? They are facilitating a discovery process to discover what are the reforms that we need to do to improve this economy, what are the actions we need to take between the public and the private sector to improve that part of the development process we're trying to improve. If we are trying to discover what are the right crop patterns that we need to do in agriculture, and what are the right kind of agricultural extension that the government needs to set up to help the agricultures discover what are the best means to develop, different kind of yields, then that's the discovery process. If the discovery process is about what kind of reforms are best to hasten the way businesses can register their businesses in the business registry, following, for instance, to improve the doing business condition, then that's a discovery process. But the discovery process can also be something a little bit lighter, which is what is a general economic direction our country wants to take? How are we going to develop the health sector in this country? How are we going to perform this education program a little bit better? These are the discovery process, and there is a wide range. So PPDs are structured mechanisms anchored at the highest practical level, coordinated by a light secretariat, aimed at facilitating the discovery process by involving a balanced range of public and private sector actors. balanced range. What does that mean? First, it's a range. That means it's not just a few people, but it's a number of people that represent all the views about that topic. And because they represent all the views, they are balanced. That means you can't just have the big fish in the pond. You also have a number of little fish in the pond. You also have groups and representative of groups that if you will not include them, they will keep being disfranchised. You want to have those balanced views because otherwise we have the risk of reinforcing vested interest, reinforcing the view of the big fish who anyway had some access to the government official beforehand. Here we want the view of everybody. So it's a balanced range of public and private sector actors. And in the public sector, it doesn't mean just the people from one ministry, it means people from several ministries, it means people from several departments in that city that are all involved into solving an issue, because when you want to solve an issue, you just don't have one type of stakeholders, but the people who need to implement often are scattered among a number of institutions, and you need to bring those people in. Now, what do? They identify, filter, accelerate, implement, and measure actions and policy reforms. Actions that's going to have an impact on competitiveness, actions that's going to have an impact on the sector we're trying to improve. And those actions can be things that don't involve enactment of a law or regulation, and sometimes they do, sometimes they're more policy-oriented. So there is really a range of things they can do. So if we go back to our definition, I'm going to read it one more time, and that's the full definition that we use. It's public-private dialogue. They are structured mechanisms anchored at the highest practical level, coordinated by a light secretariat, and aimed at facilitating the discovery process by involving a balanced range of public and private sector actors in identifying, filtering, accelerating, implementing, and measuring competitiveness actions and policy reform. It's a long definition. That's why I started by telling you I don't like definitions. But we live in a world where sometimes the definition is helpful a little bit. That's why we